Performing is what it's all about. On top of being a band, it's bigger than that. We don't care about being like one kind of sound. If we can just play music and be able to make a living out of that, then that's awesome. One, two, check, check.
What's going on? We'll call Meola and the Humble. Thank you guys for being here.
My name is Jordan Meola. I play guitar and I'm the lead vocalist for
Shane Woods. I play drums.
I'm Nathan Matulis and I play the bass guitar.
We went to high school together, all of us. Shane, I knew Shane played drums for another band. He was in like a metal band at that point. We ended up jamming with Nate because Shane and Nate were in the same band together. Pretty much everybody was just like a bunch of mingling musicians, kind of everybody playing with each other and recording each other and that kind of thing. But that's pretty much how we got started. Meola and the Humble.
Well, let's see, where does it start? It goes back to when Jordan was a wee young lad. We were playing as a band for a little while, tossing around names. You know, we always had like the idea of Meola.
Meola kind of works as like, you know, more louder, turning up Meola. And the Humble came from the phone call where Shane misheard me for, I said Meola in the jungle. And he misheard it for Humble, and that kind of stuck. But now, as we've been making music, I think we feel like it kind of fits us more because you have these louder, you know, distorted wall of sound type parts, and then you have more humble, laid back parts to our songs. You know, we really utilize like dynamic change in our music.
So much more to
I just said that we're a rock band that spans from garage rock to jazz fusion.
Right.
I guess that's the spectrum.
I guess the short answer is like alternative rock, but like what does that even mean anymore? When
If you say like genre spanning in front of any kind of music, I think it works. Like we're genre spanning rock.
lately we've been, all the new stuff's pretty surfy. So I hope you like to surf, because we do a lot of surfing inland. Because Pennsylvania borders like so many oceans that it's hard not to get into surfing. Nate's extremely laid back. Just his whole kind of thing is I just play bass, and that's what he does. So he's very mellow, easygoing. Shane's really he's a ball of energy. So he's very high-powered and go, which is great because he's been handling a lot of the business side of stuff. And Shane and I really handle most of that stuff. And he's good with it because he's on top of stuff and he's not afraid to keep emailing people and making phone calls and doing all kinds of stuff like that. But they're like the best of friends, those two. That's why I think they work so well as like a rhythm section. They've just had chemistry for years and years. But personality-wise, we all have the same sense of humor, which I think helps, and we're usually on the same wavelength.
They have their moments, but they work really well together. And the thing is, they're all really committed to this as a whole. Jordan has said to me, he said, "Mom, he said, it's us three people together that make this band. If we were to lose any one of these people, it wouldn't be the same band."
We are a group of really good friends, and that has a lot to do with the kind of energy that we give off. It adds a level of openness. We'll try anything once. We just genuinely like to have a good time and write music that we all like to listen to.
We can bicker and we can banter and put each other in the place, but it's always going to be we understand that the friendship between us and like the music we're creating, what we're doing now, is bigger than anything else.
One day rectify the thing that made this month so bleak. Probably all just pretend like we never did meet. I always listen to you.
Philly music scene is just, I'd like to think it's just growing infinitely. When we first got to Temple, we all went to different schools first, and we all ended up at Temple. When we all ended up in the same place, it was kind of like fate, I guess. But Temple, really, really awesome school. Just the fact that you're in the city, you're surrounded by so much. You have video kids who just want to make videos all the time, and we just want to make music all the time. So you come together. It's either really cheap or it's completely free. So that was like really helpful for some of the stuff. Like the Cursive Letter video, we did very, very cheap because it was through Bell Tower, which was like the student-run label who signed us, like recorded our album for free and everything. They really helped us out with that. But we pretty much, we booked everything on our own. They were a huge help as far as the album goes. It's all over the place because I'll write something and I'll listen to it over and over again, like, oh, I can't wait to show this to these guys. I write all the music first, and then I'll go over and I'll literally sing like nonsense words over, a chord progression or a bass line or something like that. I think our best songs are the ones I wrote in like a half hour. Those are the ones that just like everything works, and you don't have to sit on it and listen to it over and over and say, oh, where should it go from here? Like you don't have to force a chorus or anything. Not that the other ones are forced, but some take a lot more time. Some songs we've sat on for years. There's some on the album that I wrote 3 or 4 years before the album, and before I even played with these guys. I've been really trying to mix up, topics, so it's not, everything's not a love song. I'll get an idea from like film TV.
I think the last album we went into the studio and we're like, let's get this like the cleanest part possible. Now I think we're just like happy with just really experimenting with just like different sounds and stuff, and like not as much going for a polished sound as like a compelling sound.
We just keep playing them until
they really come into their own. We've had songs that start in like a whole different way, and then we completely rethink them and revamp them, and they end up like way different.
yeah. It's like when a song starts off, it's originally like you think like Michelangelo sculpting like a sculpture. So it's not really like when we start off with a song, it's just the plot. Like we'll play it, like we were playing that one song, you know, we have the lyrics, we have like the main parts, and we'll just kind of keep playing it and chiseling away at different parts until, you know, you get a really detailed piece of art.
Jordan's, I think, an emotional guy. He always has been. He cares for people. He's sensitive. He's aware of, you know, people and their feelings and the things that, you know, motivate people in life or relationships. His songs and the lyrics of his songs also, I think, incorporate that. Just feelings about, I think, home, what's important to you, right and wrong, nature, those sort of things, preserving our world.
I can mess around on piano. I've been messing around at practice on drums, you know. Nate will pick up the bass, Shane will play guitar, and we'll just, you know, play very simple things.
He had a pony, like a, you know, a stick pony. Remember those? It'd be like a stick, and then on the end was the pony's head, and you would, you know, use it to gallop around or whatever. Well, he, of course, reversed it and turned it into a guitar. So obviously very much a part of his life, very early on, just loved music.
My decal is in honor of my late father, who was a huge influence on me. Pretty much taught me everything I know about music, and half of my iTunes is stuff that he showed me, and I think half of his CD collection by the end, you know, was stuff that I showed him. Had that decal made, I actually designed it myself. I don't know, so he's with me up on stage every time, you know. He's always kind of with me spiritually, and I feel him there, because he sang as well, and we play all the time. Me playing acoustic and him singing and harmonizing, he would play harmonica, so he's, you know, huge influence on my life, and I love him to death.
Where do I begin to start my rhyme? He's a versatile guy who on any typical day will write a new song or make a great play. We miss you already because you make life worth living, but please do some laundry before you come home Thanksgiving.
Greg was very excited to get him his first guitar because he thought this is perfect time where he's like old enough to be responsible about it and maybe, you know, really spend some time with it, and knew that this is just such a big interest and obviously a talent to Jordan's music. So we buy the guitar, it's a big deal, and the electric guitar and the amp and the whole setup, and we bought it early.
Probably 5 days before Christmas, I was like, Mom, did you buy the guitar yet? Because I kind of want to change my mind.
So I said, what? He said, because somebody of his got a new, one of those bikes, like a motorized bike, like a scooter or something like that.
I rode it once and I was like addicted.
And that's what he decided he wanted. I said, first of all, I'd never buy you that. And second of all, we got the guitar. When I told him that, Jordan says to me, well, he says, then you're wasting your money because I'm not going to practice, I'm not going to play with it, I have no interest. I said, okay. So I went and told Greg, and I said, do you think we should return it? What should we do? He said, no. He says, I'm telling you, when that kid gets that guitar in his hands, that's the end of it. He said, don't even give it a second thought. Sure enough, Christmas comes, and for Jordan, it was just an explosion. Once he had that thing in his hands, if he wasn't at school or playing sports, he was playing guitar. That's all he did. Greg had a very good, just like a natural ear for music, and I think that's what Jordan has too. He got from Greg. And they just loved him. Anytime Jordan was home from school, he'd just come down with his guitar and say, hey G, you want to play? Because that's what he called Greg, hey G, you want to play? And they'd sit at the dining room table with a couple of beers and play for many hours. And it just was something that was, you know, this great commonality between them, something that they respected in one another, and it just added to what made, I think, their relationship and what they saw in one another sort of special. It was a tough time. Jordan's very sensitive. He's much more likely to talk about his feelings about things. So he was more direct with me when he was dealing with some of his sorrow about it, or worries about Greg when he was sick before he passed, or when he got more ill. With Jordan being where he was in school, the time of his life, especially in the last final months as Greg got more sick and we were with him more, Jordan had the opportunity to be with him more. Greg actually got his master's from Temple. So Greg had wanted him to look at Temple, and Jordan just was saying to us, oh my gosh, that's too close to home. I can't be that close to home. And I said to him, honey, it's as close as you make it. For many reasons, I look back and I say, gosh, that was the right place for him to be. The proximity to home with everything that went on was perfect. Sometimes I think you're brought to a place or laid gently someplace and you don't know why, and then you realize later in retrospect it was the right, right circumstances all around.
I want to say they saw us in like one of the music magazines. Basically, they reached out and we were talking to a couple different booking agencies at the time. These guys were like, we would like to sign you today. So we went through with it, and we're very excited about that. They've already booked us a bunch of shows, and now we're just trying to string together a tour for the winter. But definitely helps to have, we have one agent in New York and one agent in LA. So that, I mean, it's the biggest thing that's probably happened to us for a while. I don't need a lot of money. I just want like a shitty apartment in Philly and, just enough to get by. Eat ham sandwiches and drink Gatorade. Feels like something you shouldn't even have to be getting paid for, but it makes sense with all the money that goes into travel and merchandise. You hope to make it back, and you usually do.
Music is all of our passions in the band. It's what we love to do. It's what we have fun doing. Play music for people that want to hear us. No matter what happens, we'll all still be making music.
Overall, be able to support myself and have fun while doing it, and not get too caught up in anything that doesn't matter. Be able to see the country and see the world.
For a parent, I think that's a little unsettling. You like to think that your kid knows what's happening next, It's like it's not a clean, clear path that he's taking, and it will have its ups and downs, but I trust that he'll make his way. He'll be successful.
I mean, there's a lot of question marks. It's tough. I worry that, we won't book enough shows. Sometimes you doubt yourself and your music, and then sometimes you really believe in it. And I think it's definitely more so believing in it, because it wouldn't be wasting my time. And we know we're not the kind of band that's going to jump to the, #1 on the charts, and that's not our style. It's fun. It's fun. That's the bottom line. If I can do this as long as I can, then that's great.
in me. I always listen to the optimistic spirit in me. When I'm wishing that the devil on my shoulder to try to win a best out of three. My mind's electrified, so one day rectify everything that makes us more so proud. I can do everything, but somehow I don't think it's enough. So drown the chick in lemonade.